A few months ago, I ran a workshop on the basics of building up your intuition, building up your psychic abilities. And it is my belief that you can do that. You can stretch the muscle of the psychic abilities and expand on them and build on them. And I had someone on the weekend that was at the workshop come up to me and say, like, you have no idea how much you changed my life doing that workshop, which was really cool. And I remember learning about the basic stuff myself and how much those foundations have helped me build build up my intuition, build up my psychic abilities, and change the direction of my life. Because learning to honor that intuition, to me, it's part of stepping into that like authenticity of who we truly are. So I figure I'll go back to basics a little bit here and talk about the four main clairs. So that's what you call clairs, your psychic senses. So there's your clairvoyance, which is like clear seeing. Sometimes you're seeing it outside of yourself. Sometimes it's just in your mind's eye. Your clairaudience, again, sometimes you're hearing it in your head, and sometimes you'll actually hear voices external to you. Your clairsentience, which is your feeling, usually like that gut feeling you get. And then your claircognizance, which is just that knowing that drops in sometimes. Sometimes you just know exactly what something is or something's going to be without knowing how you have the information or how you know. No reference point, you just know. And quite often, these psychic senses are intermingled. So you're picking up on more than one at a time. Most people do tend to have a dominant clair, where the information drops in most strongly for them. For me personally, for a long time, it was clairvoyance. Then it shifted a bit to the clairaudience. Then it shifted a bit to the claircognizance. So I've kind of been through all of them. A little bit of backstory on me. For a great many years, I did mediumship. So I was connecting to people's deceased loved ones and bringing messages through from the other side. And the ways that would show up for me, it's more subtle than what most people think. So it would be a voice, usually filtered through my own voice in my mind, that would be saying a name. So the way I did the mediumship was I wanted evidence from the spirit on the other side for the person that I was doing the reading for that would be indisputable, or enough evidence where they felt confident that I was connecting to whoever the person was that they wanted to talk to or was coming through to talk to them. Some examples of how it would come in. So in my mind, seeing all these animals. I'm doing a reading with a guy and I just keep seeing animals, and then I'm seeing traps and I'm seeing dead animals. And the person that we were connecting to was a hunter. There was another instance where I could feel in my throat a constriction, something there, and then all of a sudden my mouth flooded with the taste of blood, which is clairgustance. It's one of the more minor ones. And the person that we were connecting to actually died when the tube went down their throat and popped a tumor no one knew was there. There was another reading I was doing, and this horse kept popping in. I kept seeing this horse face through the reading and trying to, did you have horses when you were a kid? Or was this person connected with horses? Did they love even just betting on the races? No. And right at the end of the reading, I don't know why I said it, but I just went with it. I said, well, just let it go. For all you know, you'll get home and see a little figurine of a horse in your curio cabinet that this person gave you. And boom, the light bulb went off for the client. Wow, yes, I have the little horse in my cabinet at home. That's exactly what it is. So sometimes it's just surrendering and letting go and trusting that whatever's popping in is what it is. And that's where it's more subtle. It's not neon blinking signs. People think, psychic abilities, you have these big visions and everything is planned out. And you see from A to Z to, oh my gosh, I'm going to go to this store and buy this lottery ticket and I'm going to win this much and I'm going to cash it on this day. It's not usually how the psychic senses work at all. It's more a subtle, I'm doing a reading for somebody and I keep hearing this word in my mind, ping, ping. And what the heck is this ping? And I finally said to the client, like, I keep hearing this ping, ping, ping. It's being repeated. I don't know what it means. The client's laughing because the deceased loved one we're connecting with just keeps trying to get through the nickname for this person, which was Pai Ling. So the client got it. I didn't know what it was, but in delivering or just trusting that everything that's kind of coming in is coming in for a reason. But learning to trust these senses and work with them and strengthen them, it's a big step into the unknown. And it's a big step into surrendering to trusting yourself. And that's not always the easiest, because trusting in those things that we can't necessarily see or sense or feel in the physical, that's not the way we've grown up or been trained. We've been trained seeing is believing. But in my experience, it's the complete opposite. It is believing is seeing. The more you believe, the more that spirit realm, the hidden, opens up to you, the more you will see. When I'm explaining the psychic senses to people and the different ways that they can connect to them and how subtle these things can be, normally I give certain examples. So for your clear sentience, it's going to be that gut feeling, your initial feeling when you meet somebody. It's a clear feeling, clear sentience. So that's going to be things like you walk into a room and you can feel the energy of the conversation that's just taken place, a fight, something happy, something loving. You walk into that room, you can sense it, you can feel it, and it's just within the body. You just know, you can trust it, you feel it. And there's obviously, the other side of that, where you walk into a crowd and you're kind of overwhelmed by the energy of everybody there. That's your clear sentience, your clear audience. So the clear hearing, it'll be things like a song getting stuck in your head for days, and the song reminds you of somebody. That could be somebody trying to get you a message, right? So it's Grandpa's favorite song and it's going around in your head. It could very well be your clear audience of Grandpa saying hi. Or one of the things that used to happen to me all the time would be if I went to a store for one specific item and kind of got sidetracked and bought other things or looked at other things, and I'd get to the cash and not have the one item, and I'd hear the word just drop in, eggs. Oh, right, that's why I came here. Go get the eggs before I leave. That's the clear audience. And I would hear it in my own voice for a very long time. So it filters through what you're going to be most comfortable with. And if you're most comfortable thinking, oh, that's my own thoughts, that's the way it's going to drop in. With your clear cognizance, it's just a clear knowing. It's, for me, one of the funniest ones is having a conversation with somebody. I get that urge to interrupt them because I already know what they're going to say or what needs to be said in the conversation. It's just this knowing that comes in, and it's really hard to define compared to the other senses. The clairvoyance, very often it's going to be, where you see the shadows out of your corner of your eyes. A lot of people have that. You turn and there's nothing there, but something just went by. Or deja vu, I find that is part of that clairvoyance that a lot of people experience, that clear seeing, like I've experienced this moment before, I've had this moment before. Or you can see things like auras or energy around people. Why would you want to expand these abilities? Why would you want to tap into these abilities? And I've had people tell me I have the psychic abilities of a post. And I don't really believe that in any sense. I think it's like drawing. So where anyone can draw a little stick figure, anyone has that basic ability. When you start to learn about art and stretch and grow your abilities, then you're going to be able to draw more and more complicated and beautiful. You're going to understand the interplay of light. Your drawings get more evolved. And it's the same with these psychic abilities. It's the same as building muscles, right? You want to build a muscle? It's the same idea. You've got to practice. You've got to step into it, try and work with it. You've got to want to expand it. And there are definitely ways you can build on all of these things. And like I said, I ran a workshop. It was kind of fun to get people starting to play with these abilities. And it could be as simple as taking a deck of cards and sitting with somebody or even yourself and just hold that card. You can hold it in your mind, visualize it for another person, or just pick the card, keeping it face down, and try and go in your own mind to see, can you get the color right, black or red? Can you get the suit right? Is it diamonds or is it spades? And these, as you practice, your abilities will start to expand. Now, not everybody who's practicing, learning, or expanding their clairaudience, that might not be your strongest or most dominant clair at the time. So you're not going to see the same progress as if your dominant clair is clairvoyance. Now you're sitting, you're practicing, you're doing different exercises to expand that clairvoyance. It will expand a lot quicker being the dominant clair. You can think of it like trying to draw with your left hand or your right hand. The more dominant hand is going to progress quicker. And learning to function from intuition is completely the opposite of what most of us have been taught for our lives. We go against our intuition all the time, and it usually bites us in the butt when we do it. You get that gut feeling, you just know right away, something not right with me and this person. Not that they're a bad person, but the energies just aren't matching up, not meshing, not driving. And you can look at it from 50 different directions. Is it a past life thing? Is it you picked up something that's just not a match between you guys? And whatever drops in for you, ooh, past life, yep, me and this guy went rounds. I have it where past lives drop in and I'm like, oh, this person feels like family. So is that like a past life thing with soul family? I don't know. Kind of not really attached to the past life thing. Do I think I've had more than one life on this planet? Yeah, probably. But does it matter? I don't know. I just know that if I meet somebody and I get that ick right away, they're going to get kept at a distance now because it is always for a reason. But if I meet somebody and I like them right away, that's going to pique more of a curiosity, like, oh, what's up with this person? This could be something really cool and enjoyable to pursue, to have a conversation, something to learn from them. Even the ones that's like an ick, I know there's a learning there if they're hanging around still. But expanding the abilities changes your frequency. Tuning into the intuition, to me, it is tuning into that soul frequency. That is exactly why I would recommend expanding these abilities. It changes who you are. It changes your frequency rises. So the more you're opening to your intuition, sort of hard to put it into words, but I will say that it's like tuning into yourself more. It's stepping into parts of you that maybe you find a little scary because, like, ooh, that freaky psychic stuff, but it is part of who you are. And there's no part of you that was created wrong. I've had people say to me, it's really weird, or you are really weird with this psychic stuff. I think it's a little more weird to me that people would be afraid of parts of themselves, not wanting to explore who they are or know who they are. It's a little stranger to me that you could hold fear or allow the outside to dictate to you that somehow who you are is wrong. Okay, so some exercises to help you expand, some tools to get you moving if you want to towards expanding on some of these abilities. And I would say clairvoyance, so that clear seeing, the playing cards that I described earlier, just is it black, is it red? Start with that, very simple. Then as you go through the deck, can you move to, is it a face card or is it a number card? Then can you move to, what is the face card or number card? That's going to help develop that. It's going to help like open that up a bit. You can try sketching out someone's aura. Pick up a pack of colored pencil crayons, and this is going to connect you more to your imagination, which, by the way, is soul, in my opinion. Pick up a pack of colored pencils. Get someone, your cat, your dog, if you don't want other people to know what you're doing. Just start sketching. What colors come to your mind? What are you seeing around that person? Is it yellows, blues, greens? Start sketching. Or drawings. It's a really nice way to start to trust yourself and to expand those abilities. When you're looking at clairsentience, there's kind of a fun game I like to do. It's like a party game, but you get somebody to leave the room and have another person just sit in a chair, and then the person in the chair gets up, person comes back in the room, sits in the chair, and sees if they can feel into that energy of who was just sitting there, that clear scent. There's many other ways that you can build on it. Another fun one that I like is, again, with those colored pencil crayons, just writing out an emotion on a piece of paper. So we'll say passion, passionate love, passion. I would take a red pencil crayon and write passion. Fold up the paper, put it into a box. And then maybe somebody else writes cowardice in yellow. And maybe someone else writes love, but it's more that like platonic friendship love. So they're writing it in like a pink. And then you just pull the different papers out and hold on to it and see, can you feel what that person was trying to imprint into the paper or convey for you? Clairaudience, I find that one's a little bit tougher. You can play like sending telepathic words, one word to a friend. If you're by yourself, something that will start to expand it is listening to a piece of music, but trying to just focus on one particular instrument in the piece of music starts to open up that clairaudience as well. Going and doing a meditation and asking for guidance, your guides, your angels, the universe, your higher self, doesn't matter. And at the end of your guided meditation, or in a space in that guided meditation, of just sitting and listening for the answer. Can you hear anything? Even if it's your own voice, you're still hearing something that'll start to expand the ability. Claircognizance is a bit of a slippery one, a little harder to practice, but you can do a game. I used to go to thrift stores and pick up items, and hey, what impressions can I get from this item? What can I hold and just know about the person who used to own this? Or can you get together with some people and just, hey, like, what type of information can drop in that you didn't know about people before? maybe with their childhood or their work life or an area you're not totally familiar with. Those are just some thoughts and ideas on some little exercises you can do to work on expanding these abilities. Good luck with all of that, my friends. Have some fun with it. Enjoy. Let me know in the comments, like, what did you do? What did you practice? How did it work out? And even to come back, 3 months from now and let me know if things have been opening up. Because I know when I started really taking an interest and expanding and learning more about my psychic abilities, the world's changed for me. I had a lot more magical and mystical experiences, and practicing and learning these things started to shift and change the world for me. So I'm just curious, like, what shifts and changes for you?